Yes guys, and welcome back to a new video on the channel now today. This is a video I've been waiting to do for ages, since like July time, and it's my National League 2020-21 predictions. We're going to be covering every 24 team, going from Aldershot to Yeovil, and if we smash 50 likes on today's video, I will get my dad on the next 5, so that's something to aim for. Subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on. I've got the Wrexham shirt on today, and I'm ready to review every team. Starting off with Aldershot Town. Now, they've let one of their key players leave to AFC Wimbledon. He goes by the name of Ethan Chislett. I think he was a winger, but they have brought in Jamie Sendles-White, defender from Crawley, Cheek Candy, former Bognor and Dagenham Redbridge striker, and they've brought in Josh Reese from Bromley. So they've made some good improvements in different positions. They were 16th last season. I reckon Aldershot will finish 15th. Altrincham are next. Now, they've recently been promoted via the playoffs from the National League North. They've made some decent signings, signing Matty Kozolo from AFC Fylde, used to play for Halifax, that small winger. And they have also signed right-back Richie Sutton from Morecambe. So, like Aldershot, they've made some good improvements in different positions, but also they have lost Elliot Durrell to the mighty Reds. Altrincham, I can see you staying up, but you're not going to do that well. You're going to finish 19th. Barnet are next. Now, they got playoffs last season due to points per game. They haven't actually got the biggest of squads, but they have added to that squad JJ Hooper, the former Wrexham striker, and they've got experienced defender Ben Nugent from Stevenage. Barnet are going to have a really, really good season, and they're going to finish 4th. Now, I bet that surprised some of you at home. Boreham Wood are next. Now, they had a great season last time out, finishing 5th place, getting playoffs but losing out. They've made 3 great signings in goalkeeper Nathan Ashmore, Gus Mafuta, midfielder, and Zane Francis Angle, probably the best of the bunch from Accrington Stanley. This is going to be another solid finish for Boreham Wood. They're probably the smallest club in the league, but they're going to finish 3rd. Boreham Wood, 3rd place. Bromley are next. Now, they had a great start to last season, but then they lost their form and finished off, I think it was 13th place. They've let Adam Meckie leave to Ebbsfleet and defender Jake Goodman. They also have signed prolific striker James Alabai, former of Chester, Tranmere, Leyton Orient. So that's a great signing. And they have also cooped Byron Webster from Carlisle. Bromley are going to improve. They're going to finish 11th. Chesterfield are next. Now, they had a very poor season last time out, finishing 19th. They've got some amazing players in their squad, players that are capable of playing Football League and getting the club to Football League, but for some reason they just can't seem to gel. They have signed, though, Nathan Tyson, experienced striker who plays up top from Notts County. That's only their major signing, I think, and they've let go, they've signed Robbie Weir. They won't majorly jump up too many places, Chesterfield. I can see them finishing 16th place. Dagenham and Redbridge are next. Now, they're not a team that, for me, won't go back up to League 2 or down to the National League South, but they've signed prolific striker Paul McCallum from Solihull Moors. That's a great signing. Should bag a couple up top for them. And midfielder Dean Rance from Aldershot, and they have let quite a fair few players go. I can see Dagenham finishing 18th place this season. Dover Athletic are next. Now, this is a club that nearly went bust last month, but they managed to survive, and I think as a Dover fan, any position in the league would do. Just seeing your club playing football on Saturdays and Tuesdays, that's all I could really care about. They have let, though, Jay Reason, Innie Effiong and Michael Woods leave, 3 of their good players, and Anthony Jeffrey. They've made a couple of good signings on the other side, though. I don't think Dover will do that well. They're going to finish 21st. Eastleigh are next. Now, they've got one of the most valuable squads in the league at £1.5 million, but they don't seem to be doing that well in the league. They've recently signed target man Dan Smith from Bognor Regis Town. That's a great signing. He's tall and he knows where the back of the net is, and not too far to travel as well, because Bognor and Eastleigh are quite close to each other. Nothing will majorly change at the Spitfires, sorry. What am I on about? 14th place, Eastleigh. Halifax Town are next. Now, they've signed some great players in Luke Summerfield from Wrexham, Ruben Noble Lazarus as well, but they have let some of their key first-team players go, like Jerome Bingham-Williams, who was a good left-back. I always rated him, and I thought he'd be good at Wrexham, but he seemed to have left the club. Halifax, I think you're going to have a good season in 9th place. Hartlepool United are next. Now, they've made some steal signings in Gary Liddell from Walsall, David Ferguson, the great upcoming left-back from York, and they've signed striker Mason Bloomfield from Norwich on a free transfer. So that's some 3 great signings from Hartlepool, and I think they're going to have a really, really good season improved from the last, and they're going to get playoffs in 5th place. Hartlepool, they're finally a team on the up. Kings Lynn are next. Now, they've recently won the National League North, coming up to our league. They've kept most of their squad from last season. They've added Jamal Loza from Chelmsford City. I think Kings Lynn will struggle this season. They're not really what I think of a National League club, so I think they'll finish second off bottom in 23rd place. Macclesfield Town are next. Now, it's really sad to see what's going on at the club at the minute, having to release 17 of their squad players. But they only have 8 experienced players for the upcoming season. One of those names that stood out for me was Wilson Carvalho from Accrington Stanley. He's a 27-year-old who was signed a 1-year deal until next season. They've got a good manager as well in Tim Flowers. And we've signed 2 of their players that got released. Fakra Kelleher, the centre-back, I think he was their captain, and Theo Vassell, another centre-back. I can see Macclesfield going down to the north, 22nd place. Maidenhead United are next. Now, I'm not sure how they stayed up after they finished below relegated Ebbsfleet in 22nd, so I don't know what's gone on there. I'm going to have to Google it after. They've signed a couple of players from our league, like from Solihull, and a couple of players in the south. It's not going to be enough to stay up, and I think Maidenhead this season will finish rock bottom in 24th place. Notts County are next. Now, probably the biggest team outside of the Football League. Now, they've got a squad value of £3.53 million, which is probably more than most League 2 sides and even some League 1 sides. They've got some of the best players in the league, like Kyle Wootton, a prolific striker, knows where the back of the net is. You can guarantee double figures off him. And they also have signed Ruben Rodriguez. Now, Transfer Market says his value is just over 400k. If that's the case, he looks a very good player. Formerly of the leagues in Holland, things look very bright for the Magpies, and they're finally going to get back up to League 2. They're going to win the league in 1st place. Solihull Moors are next. Now, like Macclesfield, they've let 17 players leave, including some of the key players like Jamie Record, Terry Hawkridge, Paul McCallum and Luke Maxwell. 4 names there that I thought were like some of their key players. Jamie Record has signed for the Reds, Wrexham. I'm not sure how Solihull will do. They've signed a couple of players as well, so I reckon Solihull will get 10th place. Stockport County are next. Now, they made their signings very early on. When they signed the Jennings brothers, Connor and James, and they signed John Rooney, probably the best National League midfielder last season, everyone thought, right, they're going to win the league, just because they've signed 3 good players, whereas other teams, they've eased their way in now. And they also have signed Mark Kitchen from Hartlepool United. Stockport, you'll be back up to the League 2. I think you're going to go up via the playoffs in 2nd place. Sutton United are next. Now, they've only made 2 signings, I think. That goalkeeper from Australia and Toby Show Silva. They've got some good players. Harry Beautyman. Nothing will change. Sutton 13th. Torquay United are next. Now, it's a nice club in the south of the country. They've signed a couple of Exeter's players as well, like Dean Moxey. Remember him when he scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup for Bolton, and Gary Warren. But they have lost their key striker, Jamie Reid, to Mansfield Town. They've brought in Danny Wright as well. Do you know what? I think Torquay will have a good season. And I reckon you will finish 8th place, just outside the playoffs. Wealdstone are next. Now, we all know them winning the National League South, probably one of the smallest clubs in the league. They've got a good, very good squad that I think obviously did win the league last year. I think they will be capable of staying up this year. They won't do wonders. I reckon Wealdstone, you're going to finish 20th. Weymouth are next. Now, I'm a big fan of this club for some reason. I really like them. They have actually signed Cody Cook from Scottish Premiership side St Mirren. So there's a good bit of business there. And they've signed defender Miles Anderson, formerly of Hartlepool and Chester. So they have got some good squad players. And before that, they had some good players. I think Weymouth will be safe and they'll get a solid 17th place. Woking are next. Now they've signed good upcoming striker Connor Hall. We all know him at Chorley last year from Bolton Wanderers. Tommy Block from Hibernian, formerly of Bognor Regis, so I'm going to plug that there. 10th last season, another good finish again, 12th. Yes, finally the best point of the video, you all came for it, Wrexham FC. I'm just going to name some of the signings. Fiacre Kelleher, defender, captain of Macclesfield in League 2 last year. Adi Yusuf, formerly of Solihull on loan from Blackpool. Kwame Thomas, he's been around the leagues, been in the Football League. Anthony Jeffrey, Jamie Record, Reece Hull-Johnson, Theo Vassell, Elliot Durrell was out in the 13-14 and 14-15 season. Ponticelli on a 2-year deal, we had him last season. So, a lot of new faces in the side, and I think since watching our 2 pre-season games, scoring 6 in those 2 games, we are looking very good. And they all seem eager to be at the club. Obviously, we all know about Keeler Dunn, Bobby Grant Jennings leaving. I think Wrexham will make the playoff, playoff eliminator thing. I think we're going to get 7th. So Wrexham 7th. The last team in the video is Yeovil Town. Now, they had a really good season last season, getting in the playoffs, finishing 4th, losing to Barnet in those. But they have lost winger Miles Hippolyte to, I think that's how you say his name, to Scunthorpe. And they have signed Jimmy Smith from Crawley and Josh Staunton from Halifax. They have also signed a couple of other players. Yeovil, I think you're going to finish 6th and you're going to have another season in the playoffs. So yes, everybody, make sure to drop a comment who you think will win the National League this season. We're going for 50 likes. And make sure to subscribe if you're new. And that's all I've got to say. That's it from me, Liam. And yeah, see you guys in another video.